Hello everyone. Today is basically a public service announcement about non-24 hour sleep-wake disorder. So this is not a very common experience, but for those who do experience it, it's just very, very impactful in life. I have a loved one who's experienced this, and after years and years and years of experiencing the impacts of this and feeling quite hopeless about it, they found a solution, and so I want to share that with everybody in the world who experiences this. So first of all, what am I talking about? So this is a disorder called non-24 hour sleep-wake disorder. It's a neurological sleep disorder where a person's sleep-wake cycle is longer than 24 hours, which means if they go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight and wake up at 6 in the morning tomorrow, their day will last longer than 24 hours and their body will go to bed at 11 o'clock the next night and wake up at 7, and then the next day go to bed at midnight and wake up at 8, and it will travel all the way around the clock. Definitely, it'll just keep traveling, and it's not a psychological disorder, and it's not a lack of sleep hygiene skills. It's literally something that their body experiences, and it's very, very, very difficult to fight against or to manage. So as you can imagine, what in your life would be disrupted by that? Everything. Having a regular schedule, being able to be dependable, if a repair person's gonna come and work on your washing machine, like even knowing if you're gonna be awake during that time, if you can't tell into the future when you're gonna be awake and when you're gonna be asleep. And plus, people end up still trying to work a regular job, live a regular life, get their kids out the door for school at the same time every day, and they end up sleep deprived, basically sleep deficit, confused, lots of blame and shame in their life. It's hard for other people to understand that because it's not very common. So for most people, it's hard to understand why you can't go to sleep at nighttime and guarantee you're going to be awake during the daytime. So it has a real stress. It has a really big impact. So it's has a big impact on self-esteem, relationships, employment, health. If you're sleep deprived, it's going to also interrupt. You're going to have chronic fatigue, basically. You're going to have a lot of fatigue. Sleep is where our memory is really taken care of, as well as our brain cleans out plaque. Our body regenerates itself. Like all kinds of things happen while we're asleep, and if we're sleep deprived, it's going to create a lot of adverse effects. Okay, so it's often misdiagnosed because a person with this often ends up experiencing fatigue, depression, low self-esteem, and they can get diagnosed with and given antidepressants. They can get diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. If they tell their doctor they have a really, really hard time falling asleep, they can get sleep medication and totally miss finding out or understanding that their system has a non-24 hour circadian rhythm. So people can experience this for a long time, and it's really, really hard to budge, and they'll definitely try to hold the schedule the same and try and keep the same sleep time and same wake time. It's just extremely difficult because the body literally is experiencing a longer day. All right, so thank goodness someone has really found some solutions for this. And this is a sleep entrainment program that I'm sharing, and I'll share all the information in the description, including the link to the ongoing program analysis. Before we get to that, oh yeah, and also really difficult is no matter how tired they get, they really can't fall asleep unless it's their body's sleep time. So people who are trying to work a 9 to 5 or be students or do a daily routine, they just end up being sleep deprived because they can't get their body to go to sleep at when it would fit into their schedule. Okay. So one thing that's really helpful is a greater understanding about this, because as you can imagine, probably nobody in their life, anyone who's experiencing this, often no one in their life understands that they're not just trying to be really difficult, that they really do need accommodations and flexibility and support. Okay, so here is the good news. A man named Stephen Carl Laroque, oh boy, that's probably not how you say it. Anyway, he's created a sleep entrainment program for people who have a non-24-hour sleep-wake experience. And he was born with this. He's experienced this his whole life. And 2 generations above him have experienced it as well. So that leads the possibility that it could be highly hereditary. So he was diagnosed in his 20s, and in his 30s it became undeniable. And he happens to be a researcher in neuroscience, in the neuroscience of consciousness. So even though that circadian rhythm isn't his specialty, he definitely devoted lots of energy to it because he wanted to try to find a way to balance this, and he did. And it's kind of a work in progress because it's through his own research, through his own personal experience. He's created a program, and he's sharing it freely for anyone else. And I'll share the main points of it. He also says, this is a disclaimer, it's a work in progress. He's always adding to it as he discovers more, and it's a lot. It's a long read to see all of his research and everything that he's done with it. I'll include that link where you can see his description of the program, also his link for his constantly getting updated parameters around it. Okay, so here are some of the basics. This is not complete, this is the summary. So the program includes so first of all, before you start the program, you let your body travel around the clock until it gets back to where you want it to be, where you would like to wake up. If you want to wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., wherever you want it to wake up, you let it run its course and just do its own thing until it gets to that point, and then you start the program. Also, before you start the program, you want to be as well slept as possible. So really take every opportunity for your body to get all the sleep that it wants, so you're all caught up and you're not sleep deprived starting the program. Okay, so once your body has gone around and now you've arrived at your ideal wake-up time, then you start the program. The program includes taking a melatonin every night, a specific kind, exogenous instant release melatonin. And you want to time it. You'll have to, if anyone wants to follow us, you'll have to look up all the details on his link. I'm just giving the parameters. You want to time it about an hour or so before bedtime. And do not eat any carbohydrates after you take the melatonin, or for 1 hour prior to taking the melatonin, because it will reduce its effectiveness, which I had never heard that before. Okay, so at night you take the melatonin an hour before your scheduled sleep time. You do dark therapy in the evening, so you dim all the lights for several hours leading up to your bedtime, and you turn on, for any screens that you're going to be involved in for a few hours before bedtime, make sure you have the blue light blocker. So either those orange glasses to block blue light, or on your phone, on your tablet, on your TV screen, put on the blue light blocker, and also dim those as well. So any screen that you're looking at, you want it to be really dim. Okay. Also, use the Luminette. Okay, so then in the morning, when you wake up, you're gonna wear these really nifty sunlight glasses before you get out of bed. So you put them on about 5 minutes or so before you want to wake up, before you want to get out of bed. And so it's just going to mimic sunlight on your cheeks and on your eyes, well, through the eyelids at first. So direct sunlight on UV light on your eyes and on your cheeks has been proven to be one of the most effective ways to help solidify your circadian rhythm. So for everyone, all humans, if you go outside as soon as you wake up, you face the sun and have the sun rays landing on your cheeks and indirectly on your eyes as well for, I forget the recommendation, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. It's wonderful. It's massive. Okay, so then in the morning you put these on before you get out of bed with your eyes closed, and then you leave them on for a period of time in the morning. And this is like the game changer. This is so stinking big. Okay, so then you wear these, and I'll put a link in the description, and it's an affiliate link. So if you want to support me a little bit, it doesn't cost you anything extra. I just get a little boost from it. Then you can get these glasses. I recommend them. They're also helpful for just a mood boost during the day, and also can be helpful for other things, mood difficulties. If you're feeling a little depressed or whatnot, these are handy because you can do anything you need to do. You can do your morning routine. You can just go about your day while wearing these. Okay, those were some of the basics. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Oh yeah, also allow yourself to wake up naturally. Avoid alarm clocks. Wear these glasses at the lowest setting for 1 to 5 hours. And this is the highest setting, there's the lowest one. And don't wear these in the evening or in the second half of the day, because of course you want your body to get conditioned to sunlight in the morning. Climb into bed. So these are some simplified instructions from a loved one who's been doing this. They found helpful. After you take the melatonin an hour before going to bed, climb into bed and relax. Let yourself wind down. There we go. Ta-da! All right, so that is the basics of the sleep entrainment program for non-24-hour sleep-wake disorder syndrome. Okay, so there you go. So I can share my loved one has had massive improvement. They were able to hold their sleep-wake at a certain general 2-hour window period for up to maybe a few months at a time, and other things would factor in, especially if their health, exercise, nutrition, stress, everything in life was like very perfect, staying very steady, and they could keep their sleep-wake time, they could slow it down so it only moved like 5 or 10 minutes at a time each day for a few months, and then it would go around. And they would usually try and push it, and they would try to like stay up and like really try and speed around the clock to get back to their regular normal time to be going to bed. Since they've been doing the program, guess what? They have had, it's been a long time now. I want to say 5 months of the same bedtime, same wake time. It's fluctuated a little bit, but it's basically stayed the same. They've been able to come back. Also, what's handy is if it starts to slide, so say something happens and you end up sleeping in, then you can they put these on at the highest setting as soon as they wake up, and wear it longer, and it helps push their sleep back to normal. So isn't that amazing? It's been months, and they've had a normal life, been well slept, and have more mental clarity, more energy, all the things that go along with being able to get enough rest and be awake during the daytime. So it's pretty life-changing, mega life-changing. So I want everyone to know, anyone who has experiences that, that this program has massively helped. And then also, I believe he says that it's geared towards not needing to do it every day for the rest of your life. It's geared towards doing it consistently for a few months or a certain amount of time, and then be able to go for a while without needing the melatonin, the glasses, and then if you start to need it again, then bring it back in. That's pretty fantastic. Okay, so check out the description for the link to all of his information, and his blog where he's constantly updating it as he gets more information. He's doing a lot of research on this, and to get the full protocol, all of the details, because you want to include all the details to make sure you get everything you can, have the best chance of it as you possibly can. So if you know anyone who happens to experience that their cycle goes all the way around the clock, and they have a really difficult time controlling that, please let them know. Let them know about this sleep entrainment program. Okay, and cheers to resources and that things can be better. Also, I like these. Personally, I use them myself in the morning if I'm kind of slow or like a little groggy waking up, which happens like if I eat the wrong thing at dinner. Then I just pop these on in the morning, and it helps me wake up and get pretty alert quickly. Also, going out and sunlight would do that too, if you want to do that. Okay, all right, have a wonderful day.